Hi guys, and welcome to another batch of your replays. Today we are with NusPojava, who's going to be driving two tanks. He's going to be driving the T-62A, and he's going to be driving the 113 that is featured on the channel recently. And as you notice from this map, this is Hidden Village, which was removed in patch 9.10, so this is an older replay. In fact, both replays are older replays. I sat down yesterday, and normally what I do is I pick out maybe anything from 6 to 10 video or replays. I watch them and then I pick the ones I want to put up on the channel. But yesterday I ended up watching 31 replays. 31 replays. Yeah, that was quite productive. Took up most of the day. And the only issue is the 31 replays came from just 2 emails. And the 2 emails came from just 2 players. So one thing I'm going to say, guys, is, you know, if you're going to be sending in replays, please only include 1 replay link per email, or maybe 2 replay links per email, because if you include 31 replays in 2 emails, it gets put into a side folder, and there's a very good chance I'm never ever going to look at it. But yesterday what I felt like doing was I went into one of my side folders that had 2 emails with 31 replays between them, because maybe I was feeling masochistic or something. But I ended up watching 31 replays yesterday from just 2 players. One of those players was NusPojava. He sent in 12 replays in 1 email, and the thing is, the games were just too good. The games were just too good not to put up on the channel. NusPojava is an incredibly aggressive player. He really is an incredibly aggressive player. These replays just blew me away. I don't even know where to start when I'm commentating these games, because so much of this, what happens or what you're about to see, is just down to pure skill. It's not playing a tank. Well, he is playing his tanks to his strengths, but there's amazing mini-map awareness. But even I can't keep up with the decision-making skills that NusPojava has when he's playing aggressively. Very aggressive game. We're just going to go. But he's playing in the T-62A. Very strong tier 10 Russian medium tank. Very good turret armor. Not a lot of gun depression, though. 5 millimeters, or 5 degrees of gun depression is what I'm trying to say. And usually when this map was in the game up till 9.10, what you'd see is a lot of medium tanks heading into the middle, or a lot of medium tanks heading over to the village in the north of the map. And NusPojava has no intention of doing this, because NusPojava, he's just so aggressive. So he is charging. He's going to be charging towards the enemy team. The enemy team aren't that bad. It's quite a good team on both sides. But yeah, the aggression factor in this game is absolutely amazing. But yeah, if you're going to be sending in replays, guys, just remember I pick out replays based on my mood. So if I feel like doing mid-tier, high-tier TDs, you know, medium tanks, I'll pick out replays based on how I'm feeling. So if that information isn't in the title, there's a good chance the email isn't even going to be watched, or the replay isn't going to be watched, or the email isn't even going to be read. So I need the name of the tank in the subject line, and please don't send multiple replays. I mean, at most send 2 replays per email, and put both tanks' names in the email description. But you can see NusPojava, he's just playing incredibly aggressively. He's only taken 1 hit from an APCR round from a T-32, but he's picked up his first kill. He's already on 1600 damage. Playing very aggressively, and his team are playing very aggressively as well. I think because NusPojava had advanced, but he doesn't care. He's just charging in 2 E100s around this corner, maybe with some other tanks as well. Carnarvon has been spotted here. VK has been spotted around the corner. E75. He doesn't care. He's in a medium tank, but he's going to be taking on all of these heavy tanks. And what I really love about this gameplay is he's not resorting to premium ammo. He doesn't fire premium ammo in any of his replays. Now, I watched 12 NusPojava replays yesterday. These are the 2 I picked, but all 12 were just like this. Very aggressive games. Very aggressive play. Very little use of premium ammo. Very good replays, and even though they were sent in so long ago, I ignored them because there were so many replays in the one email. But I'm sorry I did. They were all very, very good games. Big XP games, big damage games, very aggressive, exciting gameplay. You can see that NusPojava, he's just charging in. I mean, he could pen these E100s easily if he switched to premium, but he doesn't. He's not switching to premium. He goes for the easy target, the Carnarvon, ignoring the E100 who's got his own problems. Tracks the Carnarvon, takes a couple of hits, but he's just playing so aggressively. Look at that, E100 was aiming at him. Just pure natural aggression here. He understood the E100 was aiming at him, and he reversed into cover behind behind a friendly E100. He takes out the Carnarvon for kill number 2. He's up to 3.6k damage, looking for more damage here, and gets it. And he realizes the E100 is fired, so he can ignore the E100, and someone else takes him out. So already look at this map awareness, swinging around, picks up a kill on the T-69, realizes the T-30 below him wasn't a threat. E100's going for the T-30, RT is running for it. He sees the T-30, fires at the E100, so the T-30 is just fired, and he's just going on the attack again. He's not hanging back, not playing passively, just being an absolute nightmare in his tier 10 medium. Doesn't manage to get a shot in on the enemy T-30 to pick up any more damage or a kill, but yeah, 5k damage already, guys. This game, it's 5 minutes old, but NusPojava, he's just... I wish I had this much natural talent. It's very easy just to say play a tank to its strengths, or keep an eye on the minimap, but this is one of the reasons. Someone asked me recently, would I ever consider, or do I ever think I'd become a Unicum? I'm a Blunicum, or, well, it depends on the XVM setup you have. I'm even a green player on some people's XVM setups, but yeah, I don't think I'll ever be a Unicum because I play too many crap tanks, I play too many bad tanks. I play for fun, and if I do well, I do well, and if I don't, I don't. But NusPojava just going hell for leather here, trading shots with a... Oh, that was the first real damage he's taken in this game, but Panther was causing problems. RT is, well played to that RT player. That RT player knew what way this game was going. He ran for it, managed to get in a big shot in NusPojava, but NusPojava up to 6.4k damage, misses a kill on the Centurion. It's a very close game. It is 3 versus 3. NusPojava going for a track shot, just misses. It's another shot in, leaves the Centurion on 8 health. So it's still 3v3 at the moment, but Mouse is on half health, E100's on half health. NusPojava's down to 130 hit points thanks to that shot from RT. And yeah, for some reason the enemy AMX 1390 somehow managed to crash in the north of the map. No idea how that happened, but basically what it's meant is it is now 3 versus 2. No, it is 2 versus 2, so just NusPojava and his T-62A and a Mouse versus a Centurion 7-1 and an Object 140. The Object 140 is almost on full health. Centurion is a one-hit kill. Mouse is down to a one-hit kill, but NusPojava moves up, takes out the Centurion for kill number 6. There's his top gun. He's on 7.1k damage. And now it's going to be very, very difficult. Mouse, one-hit kill. NusPojava, one-hit kill. Object on a lot of health. So, yeah, this game, just the decision-making by NusPojava in this game, way too fast for me to keep up with. And as I say, NusPojava sees things that only occur to me later on, but very, very good shot on the Object 140. He's side-scraping, looking to try and track the Object 140 in place, and for some reason the 140 isn't moving. Maybe he is tracked, maybe his engine's been taken out. But NusPojava, able just to put shots into this Object 140. Maybe his engine's out, maybe he was tracked, but side-scraping keeps the Object 140 in place and finishes up with 7 kills and 8.4k damage. What an aggressive game in a T-62A. NusPojava picked up an ace tanker, unsurprisingly. Picked up Spartan, picked up Steel Wall, picked up High Caliber, picked up Top Gun. It's an older replay, and again, I do apologize for not bringing it to you before now, but it's very, very difficult when someone sends in a lot of replays in one single email. I just don't have time. Yesterday was an exception. Sat down, watched a lot of these replays that I'd pretty much ignored in the past because it just would take up too much time. But yeah, there are some real gems in there, and you're going to be seeing them on the channel over the next couple of days. This just an incredibly aggressive game from NusPojava. 1460 XP, 7 kills, 8,390 damage. Incredibly well played. I will never ever be as good as that in tier 10 mediums, but 37 shots fired, 34 hits, 30 penetrations, and no premium ammo fired. Very, very well played. He blocked 2,590 with his armor, spotted 2, damaged 12, destroyed 7, and did 1,524 assistance damage, and earned a profit in a tier 10 medium tank with a standard account of 17 or almost 18,000 credits. First game of the day left him on 2,920 XP. Incredibly well played game, and as I say, it's just something I haven't watched because it was mixed in with so many other replays that were sent in at the same time in the same email. But anyway, moving on. Now, some of you naysayers out there might be saying, hey, it was a very, very good game in the T-62A, but, you know, it's easier to be aggressive when you're in a tank that, you know, a lot of people consider overpowered, you know, a tier 10 Russian medium tank. But what happens when NusPojava gets into the 113, a tank I covered on the channel recently, and it's a very, very underpowered tier 10 heavy. The turret armor, nothing special. The hull armor, nothing special. Side armor, rear armor, absolutely terrible. And the penetration on the gun, not fantastic when you're fighting against tier 10 heavies. Yeah, NusPojava is exactly the same way, 100% aggression. He's here on El Haloof, as I say, in a tank that isn't particularly considered strong, not overpowered at all, possibly even underpowered. But he's exactly the same, incredibly aggressive. The enemy team aren't bad. On paper, it looks like NusPojava's team are a little bit better, but, you know, the enemy team aren't that bad. And we are just going to go because he plays exactly the same way. A lot of natural talent, a lot of incredibly good minimap awareness, and he makes decisions long before I see what he's trying to do. You know, he plays aggressively with a lot of talent. I wish, or I hope that someday, I'm able to have games like these because nice setup there, shot in the side of the turret in the E100, nice spotting from the ORU-251 down in the middle. So some nice early damage for NusPojava, and he's congratulating. I like to see this. He's a positive player. He's saying, good job, ORU. The ORU got him 447 damage early on a E100 top tier heavy, but you could see that the 113, it's slow, it's sluggish, it's doing 17 kilometers an hour up this rise. But yeah, NusPojava, he's not going to sit in this corner because he's an aggressive player, and it's very rarely I get replays from players who are just as aggressive as NusPojava. It's a theme. It's a theme that he seems to have in almost every replay he has sent in the past. So ST1 advancing, you know, NusPojava advances. Now, if it was me, I probably would have stopped there as soon as I saw the ST1. But he's moving into a position where he can possibly get flanked. He can possibly get flanked by the ST1, get flanked by the Centurion 7-1 behind him. But he knows what he's doing. He's staying safe from the tanks to his right. He moves down, starts focusing on the ST1 in front of him. He's ignoring the Centurion 7-1 behind him because he knows the Centurion 7-1 is sitting on that corner and focused on tanks in front of him. You know, the Centurion 7-1 has shots on NusPojava, but the Centurion is being pushed back by an Object 430. So, you know, NusPojava, incredible map awareness. I would have worried about being flanked, but NusPojava knows what he's doing. He understands the map. So he's able to move up. He's already done 1,500 damage here. And fighting with his gun depression, looking for shots. He's only got about 240 millimeters of penetration with the gun, but he's going for the weak spots, and he's keeping his tank at an angle. So the 113 relies on its sloped armor. The armor itself is not that much better. In fact, it's almost identical frontal armor to a tier 10 medium tank. It's only 120 millimeters thick, but it is sloped just like medium tanks. You can see he's keeping it at an angle. He's side scraping, even though the side armor on this tank isn't great. And if enemy tanks know what they're doing, they're just going to be shooting at the front of his turret, because these tanks have more than enough penetration to go through the front of the turret, hit cupolas, hit the turret roof. But NusPojava staying at an angle, fighting with his gun depression. He has to expose a lot of his tank here. One of the problems for the 113. He has to expose a lot of his tank to get the gun on target. But look at this, constantly aiming, misses a track shot in an E50. E50 is able to pen NusPojava's turret, especially with premium ammo. So turret armor not even good on this tank. Just rolling forward, another 451 damage. The DPM and the alpha damage of this tank are fantastic. You just have to fight with gun depression and below average armor, but look how aggressive he is. He's not holding back, he's continuing to advance, he's completely ignoring the fact there's 2 RT in this game, although he was in RT safe positions. But I thought that was NusPojava's ammo rack, turned out it wasn't, but he does another 400 damage to the E50 and gets into cover from a Lorraine 40 that's camping. But playing this like a medium, just so aggressive, moving up. Waffle Tracker E100, T110 E4 here, but takes out the more dangerous tank. So I really do love aggressive players, but the thing is, you've got to have a lot of skill. You can't just, if you try and play too aggressively, what happens is a lot of the time you just die. But he takes out the E4 for kill number 4. He's on 6.5k damage. And just such an aggressive player. And as I say, it might look easy to do in a tier 10 overpowered medium, but this is a tier 10 underpowered heavy. And he's doing exactly the same thing. It's just the way he plays. Enemy RT suicides. Just Lorraine. Well, just a Lorraine 15551 left. And yeah, as I say, this tank is not the fastest. It does have 50 kilometers an hour top speed, but it's never going to be fast enough to hunt down RT from this position. And the game is over. So another gem of a game hidden away for a long time because it was hidden amongst so many other replays sent in the same email. But yep, just really good game. Incredibly aggressive play from NusPojava, as I've come to expect from him. It was an ace. It was a high caliber in the 113 on El Haloof. He finished top on XP with 1153, 6,418 damage done, and 4 kills. Absolutely no fear. NusPojava has absolutely no fear. Throws his tank into what I would consider dangerous positions and dangerous situations, but gets away with it because he just has such a strong awareness of what's happening on the minimap around him while he's focused on what's in front of him at the same time. He fired 16, hit 16, pen 16, fired no premium ammo, didn't need it even though the penetration on the 113 is not fantastic. Nice amount of damage. He managed to block 2,520 damage with his armor, even though the armor on the 113 is not great. It relies on sloping rather than actual armor thickness, and enemy tanks, our tier 10s, can easily pen the turret, or pretty much pen anywhere if they're firing gold. But some really nice angling, some really nice blocking, and he he's damaged 8, destroyed 4, did 130 assistance damage, playing on the front line, playing aggressively, really exciting games. And that's just the way NusPojava plays his tanks, and he gets away with it, which is something that I can't do. When I tend to play aggressively, I make mistakes. But 1153 XP on a ×3 left him on 3,459. But really well played, NusPojava. Sorry I haven't brought those games to the channel before now, but again, just a little piece of advice to both you and anyone else out there who's watching. If you are sending in replays, please don't send in any more than 1 or 2 links in an email, because I pick themes. I go in and I look for maybe German medium tanks, or I go in and look for low tier tanks or TDs or Japanese tanks or whatever I'm happen to be in the mood for. So I pick those replays via the subject, and sometimes when I get an email that just says replays for Osirish, and I open the email and it has 12 replays, or in the case of another player I watched yesterday, 19 replays in the same email. yeah, those are just pretty not, much not going to get looked at. I stick them in a side folder, meaning to go back to them, and it takes me forever to, if I even remember to go back to them. But yesterday I felt like doing that, and found these gems, two really, really good games from NusPojava that he sent in a long, long time ago. But very aggressive play, really, really enjoyed those replays. I hope you guys did at home too. I want to thank NusPojava for sending them in, but in future, as I say, please just send in one or at most two links per email, and give me the subject in the subject of the email. Let me know what tank it is, because that's really, really important when I'm picking tanks for the or games for the channel. But yeah, thank you guys at home for watching. I'll see you next time.